Is my pleasure to welcome all of you to our time together, whether you are via Zoom or whether you are joining us via Facebook Live. And so my name is Tammy Welbrock. I'm the interim alumni director here for the Alumni Association. And joining me is a slew of staff, but certainly Charlene Nichols, our assistant director, is helping with all of the actual Zoom stuff in the behind the scenes. So appreciate her as well as all of you joining today. And we're excited to welcome our Nita M. Landrum Award recipient, Ashley Adorante. Before we get to talking with Ashley, I do want to just offer to all of you, use your chat function that's located at the very bottom of the screen and use that to submit any questions you may have. And then Charlene will help me, if I miss any, to also incorporate. So Ashley Adorante, let me share a little bit with all of our callers on who you are. So I'm going to read that you are a 2001 graduate with a Bachelor of Science degree in Physical Education, Health and Wellness, and that you hold an MS in Education from KU, and is now the Outreach Coordinator for the Masonic Cancer Alliance at the University of Kansas Cancer Center. Your service to Fort Hays has included membership on the Tri Sigma Advisory Board and volunteering with the FHSU Kansas City Alumni and Friends chapter. And all of what you have done has certainly made you a great representative of this award, which truly is about sustaining the volunteer service. Certainly for the betterment of the Alumni Association as well as for Fort Hays in general. And we'll talk a little bit about what you have accomplished in doing that. But I think you even go beyond just the Alumni Association and the Fort Hays. You certainly do embody that spirit of volunteer civic servant, so to speak. So, all right, well, we don't want to hear from me anymore. We want to talk to you. And so, Miss Ashley, you know, all of us here at the Alumni Association have had the opportunity to read your nomination packet. We know about you, and there are a lot of people on this call that don't know the level of all of what your accomplishments have been through the years. And I'd love for you to provide a snapshot of your different accomplishments. And they may just be important to you, or they may have been actually things you put on your resume. So you just take it over.
Okay, well, thanks for this honor. It's a great accomplishment to receive this award. Like you said, I'm the outreach coordinator for the Masonic Cancer Alliance, which is the outreach network of the University of Kansas Cancer Center. And with that, some of my biggest accomplishments, I run a program in the summer called Pool Cool with my interns, which is a sun safety education program, which we travel throughout the state of Kansas, and we teach lifeguards, learn to swim instructors, aquatic staff, why it's important to wear sunscreen and take a break from the sun, that type of thing. Through that, we trained thousands of aquatic staff in that program. And a few years ago, we were recognized through the Kansas Parks and Rec Association as the Program of the Year through the state of Kansas. So that's quite an accomplishment. And also, part of my outreach team, we travel across Kansas and do free skin and prostate cancer screenings, partnering with the Masonic lodges across the state. And in the 10 years that the Masonic Cancer Alliance has been around, we've screened over 23,000 Kansans, with 5,000 people needing actual follow-up to discover cancers that they wouldn't have known that they would have had. So both of those, I would say, are two of my biggest workplace accomplishments.
Well, you mentioned something about interns, and I'm not sure if that internship offering is the same one that I'm thinking of, but you certainly have been a huge resource for current Fort Hays students. Can you talk more about that internship? Because it's not just been here with the current position. You've actually started that model before that at the Red Cross, I believe.
Right. And I see several of my former interns on this call, which is great. But the intern program, it's part of the summer serviceship program. So I'm lucky enough to have a Fort Hays intern each year that besides coming in just doing behind the scenes work out in the community work, I like to showcase them because one day they're going to need a job and it's better to know somebody than just be a name on a piece of paper. So I try and take them out in the community, show them what's out there, introduce them to important people, just again to get their name out there and show people really who they are.
Do you extend this to other universities, or is this just exclusive internship for Fort Hays?
Nope, it's open to anybody. I always have one spot for a Fort Hays student, and then normally I have 3 interns, and those other 2 spots are open to anybody that applies. This year was our first year with working at home and being virtual that my Fort Hays intern was a virtual intern. So she actually lived in Hays and did a lot of behind the scenes work since we weren't traveling and doing outreach programs as we have in the past.
So did you, I love the way that you're utilizing your skill set, your connections, your place of employment is talk about just creating, because I think there might be creating the internship program. Talk about what that looked like, and did you have, I mean, was it an easy sell to your employer? And because there might be some other people on this call that would like to do something similar.
So Jason Willoughby, who's also on this call, and I worked together at the Red Cross for 10 years and had this program we created there where we did have an intern or interns come, and at the end of their internship we did a report to the community again so that they would be more than just a name on a piece of paper when it was time for them to get a job. And I just moved that program that we had created to the Masonic Cancer Alliance, and my boss was all for it. She loves having student workers and extra help around the office. So it really was an easy sell. And Fort Hays helping to find the interns, I mean, they're a great resource and always so super helpful.
Very good. Which departments do you work with? Do you work through the career services, or do you work with the specific department? And is it open? I mean, what majors are you looking for with your?
I'm open to any majors, and I do work with career services, and I have a few connections in the communications department that they promote it to their students, but a lot of it is from past interns, really just word of mouth that they promote it to their friends, or they tell me that they have somebody that would be a great intern, and really those are the best fit.
Very fascinating. Thank you for doing that. That truly is the spirit behind this award, but it's also the spirit behind what we would love to have every Fort Hays alum like you thinking very intentionally about how you can engage current students. And of course, you engage them, you may be able to hire them eventually yourself. I mean, so you even mentioned you see some of those interns here. Do you have any of those type of success stories that, after the internship, you've continued to work with them, or you've been able to place them in a different job or anything like that?
So quite a few of my interns, since we do cancer screenings across the state, will always need a random person to help out and do a screening. And since they're already trained, it's very convenient to have them come and fill in when needed. And then a couple years ago, I had an intern, and now she works for the KU Medical Center. So it's great to have her be on campus and be able to see her from time to time.
That's neat. I like that. Well, okay, so we're talking about Fort Hays and how you're helping those people with the career path But can you talk about your career path? What about your time at Fort Hays helped give you that skill set, give you that desire, just kind of make that connection to where you're at today and in your time on campus and how it prepared you?
Sure. Well, when I came to Hayes, I didn't know anybody. I'm from Overland Park, so a lot of my classmates from high school, they went to KU, K-State, and I went to Fort Hays all by myself. And so just being able to network with people, get to know people, actually learn the Western part of the state, that's really helped me just for now being out in the public and having to network with other people. Um, Also, I had to do an internship as part of my program and learning how to plan events and just dealing with the general public has really helped me with what I do today.
Oh, that's very true. You learn so much more than just the theoretical, that's for sure.
So true.
And I have a feeling we're talking to the choir here with everybody that's on this call. So let's then go a little bit further. We talked about how it prepared you, but what was the co-ed Ashley like when she roamed the quad and was here spending her time? This student from Overland Park that would have been big city girl probably to many of the. I'm a Western Kansas girl, so Hayes was big city. So what was that all like, and what are some things that you did when you were here?
It was a pretty big shock because I feel that my high school class and my freshman class at Fort Hays were probably the same size, if not my high school class being a little bit bigger. Um, but I was a Tri Sigma, so we went to all of the sporting events and did a lot of group activities together. I was a Tiger Deb for a short time. So I met several of my good friends to this day through that. I worked as a lifeguard at the pool and taught water aerobics, which I still teach water aerobics today. So that was a great training. Um, in really just a lot of great memories as a student, a lot that I probably shouldn't share, but you know, some of the best memories shouldn't be shared. But
I think I saw several chuckles on the call. So you're not alone with those memories, Ashley. So, certainly the Tri-Sig sorority had taken a break from being, I guess, the charter had, I'm not sure the right way of sharing that, but they weren't on campus anymore. And
right.
I think you were instrumental, weren't you? Or can you talk about the rechartering and that that aspect of bringing that experience back to campus?
Sure. So it was a few years after I graduated that the Tri Sigma chapter left Fort Hays, and it'll be 5 years this year that we've been back on campus. And there was a group of us that are still on the alumni board right now that helped to bring that back. But really, we had a lot of support from the Tri Sigma national headquarters that they sent out a consultant for several years to help with recruitment and get the ball rolling to be back. And as far as I know, everything's going great. We're a strong chapter back on campus. We're part of the Tiger Village that has a house again. So it's great to see how those members are growing and just continuing on that legacy.
I think there's the aspect of doing the work, and then there's the passion that drives it. You being somebody to help bring that sisterhood back to campus. Why would you do that, Ashley? I mean, and thank you for doing that. But I think there's probably something there that is very telling about your time being in the house and having this sense of family, away from family. Can you kind of talk a little bit deeper in that experience of being in a sorority?
Well, and it's really just what you said, a family within a family. Coming to Hayes and not knowing anyone, you had automatic friends, somebody that you could always do something with, somebody that even now you can reach out to if you need something, have a question, that they're all right there. And it's really something that I valued during my time at Hayes, that I just really wanted a new generation of students to be able to experience that as well.
You know, I was looking at the chat as you answered that, and I'm going to have to ask this question because Mike Slattery shared a question here that to me really is what I'm struggling to even bring, ask you. And it's who or what created that spark in you that really created a strong passion and commitment for volunteerism. Thank
I
you.
don't know that there's really one thing that created a spark. I've always liked to be involved in things. I like to be a part of my community. And just with the people that I've met and the organizations that they belong to, really, they create such an excitement for their organizations that I want to be part of that. I want to help out whoever, just for the good of the cause, really. There's, again, really no rhyme or reason about how it started, but just love being involved.
Well, I love what Harry Watts just messaged me, and truly, what he said here was Nita M. Landrum would be really proud of you and the effort
Thank
that
you.
you are still doing to remain active within the university campus life as well as the alumni life. And Nita M. Landrum, as Harry had shared, she was all about Fort Hays and the importance of community outreach with current and past students. She is certainly attributed to her love of Fort Hays and commitment to building this alumni association to where we are at today. So, the fact that alumni to remain committed with current and past students, that is certainly something that he says it's clear you're doing in that position. So, but I do have to laugh here, and I've got more questions of my own to ask you, but every one of these that are coming up in the group chat just really do just are perfect timing. And before all of you joined us, I have to share that Ashley was worried that we might hear a snore or two from one of her at-home coworkers. So Jimmy has asked, would you please introduce us to your while working from home coworker? Because I'm guessing, Jimmy, you may be hearing the snore. Is that, oh, he just knows it. He knows. He's so smart. So you got a few friends there.
Yes. So, laying here on my foot actually is Myron, which I'm not going to show you him because I don't actually have on shoes. But he is snoring. If you can't hear him, I'm glad. And then I have another one, Howard, which I'm not sure where he is, but sometime if you see somebody coming across the screen, it's probably one of them.
I shared with Ashley before we got started. It's like we've been seeing many creatures make their themselves known, or I'm suspecting that they're probably still underfoot anyway. But thank you for introducing us. So, I would love to, because you are in the wellness world, but you certainly have incorporated so many different skill sets to your professional career. And so whether it's a student that's in the physical education world or just any student here at Fort Hays, what kind of advice would you give them, those current students? And it may or may not have to be within that area of your emphasis. What advice would you have for students today?
So I always tell any student to get involved because really you just never know who you're going to meet or what connection that you're going to make that really is going to help you in the long run. Also, do an internship. You're going to learn so many skills and it's going to look great on your resume. And also, maybe you're going to find out there's something that you didn't even know that you like that you find during that internship.
And does your internship, do you do a full semester, several weeks, full year? How's yours program?
So it's in the summer. So normally whenever school ends till about the first week of August.
Okay. I know one of the things that is being talked about these days are micro internships, like over spring break or over, assuming we still have those, but or over holiday breaks or just in small short time. So that's intriguing to start looking in that way. I would also love to ask, do you, while you are in that mode of thinking on campus and your time here, what type of special memories do you have? What type of, is it a memory with a teacher? Was it a memory with another student? Was it your time in the Tri-Sig house? But can you share a special memory that you may have?
So a lot of special memories I have are just with people that I met through Hayes. It's sad to say, but before I went to school at Hayes, I hadn't been west of Topeka. Um, just there was nothing that I needed in Western Kansas. So just meeting a lot of people from the whole western side of the state, getting to go home with them just to see what their small towns were like. I mean, great memories there. And now that I'm traveling across Kansas, really it's helpful to know that, oh, I've been here before, or just know somebody that lives in some random small town that if I needed something, had a flat tire, I would know who to call.
You know, have you ever really explored yourself as far as that, the art of networking, connecting with people, relationship building? You know, you certainly are just natural with that, but almost all of your answers and some of your professional aspects in terms of creating internships, et cetera, have really been surrounding networking. Have you, I mean, is that something you've ever really given that intentional thought, or has it just been something that it's just what you do?
It's just really what I do. I've really never thought about it, but really I feel, especially in my position, that's what you have to do, just make connections.
Well, Ashley, I want to share, Jimmy also shared this via the chat, but he was at a ribbon cutting that was for the Dillon's grand reopening in Topeka, and their vice president of social relations from the corporate office is one of your Tri-Sig sisters, Sheila Regier, probably butchering that, but anyway, goes up to Jimmy and wants to know, do you know Ashley? And I think that that's telling of somebody that has really made a mark on an individual. I mean, that's probably one of the most sincerest compliments if somebody wants to know if they know Ashley Adorante. That's pretty
Well,
cool.
Jimmy himself is a mover and shaker in Topeka, so always rocking that tiger gear. So if anybody's going to know anybody, they're going to know Jimmy.
That's true. I love the tiger gear. Well, I'm also curious, you know, we talked about your time with memories on campus, but I would love to know more about if you have any special memories of any of the with any of the alumni events you've hosted or helped with in the Kansas City area.
One memory, I got a dress as the tiger mascot at the Fort Hays golf tournament. Um, I had never done that before, but the suit fit, and we were just really practicing wearing a mask before it was the thing. So not many people can say that they wore that suit.
Nope. I'm guessing there's very few on this call. That's really cool. Is there, I mean, so, you know, being so involved in the alumni gatherings, would you have any advice for other alumni in their geographic areas on what they can do to really generate that type of tiger spirit and dare we say network with, and that can have professional as well as personal reward?
Well, go to the events yourself. If you have an idea for an event, plan it. The Alumni Association is great to work with to help you um, get things started and advertise your events. So
Very cool.
hopefully, in a few months, maybe we can have an event in Kansas City in person again.
That would be great. We would love that. So, well, Jeannie with our staff had asked, how do you manage to balance work with so many volunteer activities?
So I'm really lucky that my workplace is very supportive of all of my volunteer activities, and I'm able to have a flexible schedule that I can do volunteering during the day if need be. And everything really just works out that a lot of things are after work hours, so I can attend those as well.
Well, and speaking of volunteer work, you served as the president. Thank you for doing that work for the Kansas City, Kansas Rotary Club. Maybe talk about that. Share more about what, I mean, I would think at a metropolitan area, uh, my time serving for the Sunrise Rotary Club at Hayes is probably not going to be very much the similar stories that you will have. So share more about that time.
So serving as the president, it was a great time. We were able to accomplish a lot and be really active in Kansas City, Kansas, which we still are. We're a big funder of college scholarships for Wyandotte County high school students. So we have a program each year where students from all of the Wyandotte County high schools are able to come to us. One week it's the males, one week it's the females, and they talk to us about what their future plans are, what they've done in high school, just them in general. And then we award $1,000 college scholarship to the male and the female of each of that. We've recently started partnering with the Hispanic Development Fund, where we award college scholarships to students as well. Last year, we were able to give 7 scholarships to students through that program. Then we just do other volunteer work throughout the community. So we work at a food bank, helping to package foods that community members can come and pick up, and then just random drives for supplies. We had a toothpaste Tuesday where everybody brought toothpaste one week and it was donated to a local homeless shelter. And then just events like that. So really just being out and about, really getting involved and giving back to our community was what we did for my year as the president.
Thank you. Thank you for doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
Katie Reyes, I think I'm saying that right. Hopefully. She wants to know, what would you say is good advice for young professionals trying to find their footing in the adult world and are trying to find networking opportunities that they are passionate about?
So Haiti was one of my fantastic interns. So she really did a great job when she was there. Some advice for young professionals: don't put everything on social media. It doesn't all need to be there. Just highlight good things.
You see that nod.
Other advice, just really try out everything. You never know what you're going to like just by looking at it on a piece of paper online. Really get out there and just see what really is a good fit for you.
Well, and very, you know, those networking opportunities start in college, whether you're with, you know, a sorority such as you, but I think you've been able to stay in touch with faculty. You've certainly kept in touch with your sorority sisters. And I'm not, one of these days, and of course this will be off the call, and maybe, dare I say, an adult beverage, but I want to know more about all the dirt on Jason Willoughby. And so we'll talk more offline, but certainly, you know, how did that work out where you two ended up working together in Kansas City?
So besides that dirt, I probably have some pictures to go along with every story. So Jason and I started working together. It was very random. I was teaching water aerobics and talking about that I was going to be teaching a CPR class that following weekend. And one of the people in my class happened to be the executive director at the time of the Red Cross where Jason worked, and asked if I knew Jason, and I had heard his name but didn't know him yet. Um, so I went and started teaching CPR there, and Jason and I ended up working together for 10 years, had a lot of great times, planned a lot of events, did a lot of fundraising. So yeah, just
Another,
really it was about who you knew.
exactly. And networking. And then maybe when that door is opened, you've had the courage, the skill set, because you've been working on it. You were ready to walk through those doors whenever they were open. But I also love the fact that you were very much instrumental in opening doors for other people. And I think that's such an admirable quality about you, Ashley. So when you are not, and I almost feel like there's this superwoman, you should just own it, but there's just this quality about you that is really trying to save the world, and about as good at saving it as anybody I've met. What are you doing when you're not saving the world? What does Ashley like to do for fun? And besides, I mean, I'm sure you enjoy everything that you are doing, but talk a little bit more about that.
So I do like to work out. I like to travel. I do watch a lot of TV, which, I do like doing. Um, and recently I got certified to teach English to Chinese students because a lot of my outside activities have been canceled or postponed right now due to the pandemic. So, really I just like to stay busy.
What would you say is your next? What would be, a bucket list of either where to go or maybe even what to do? What are some of those things?
So right now on my bucket list is to visit all 50 states, and I think I'm probably about 5 short of those. It's kind of hard right now because I'm not flying anywhere to go to Alaska and Hawaii, but one day.
Well, okay, we'll put this on your bucket list about trends in the business. Noelle from our office talked about trends in the business, encouraging employees to take an office volunteer day, take an office or have an office volunteer day there. And so if, like if an office closes down on a Friday noon, maybe all employees go to volunteer somewhere. So
Mhm.
what what uh what thoughts do you have on that? Do you see any trends in terms of volunteerism?
So I have seen that before, that people can either, as an office, people shut down for the entire day, or what I've seen too, which is kind of a little bit easier, that once a quarter or however it works in a different business, that individual employees are able to go and volunteer their time, and still get paid for that, which is kind of easier just doing something individual because it's getting harder and harder to find things to do as a large group. But I think that's a great idea if more offices can do that.
One of the things that I think is fascinating too is about what alumni can do to remain engaged with their university, but also to just maintain that purposefulness, that intentionality in being able to give back. And one of what Harry Watts had shared with me was, as a person who grew up in the metroplex of Kansas City, and obviously you now work there, what should we or what could we be doing at Fort Hays to get more of that area's high school students and the parents interested in this university located in Western Kansas?
So, um, I've thought this for a long time, but any shirts or promotional materials, make sure it says Fort Hays State University or FHSU on there, something, because if it just says Tigers, a lot of people just automatically think that it's Missouri
Yeah.
or a high school that's a Tiger. So anything that can really promote that name in the whole name, really, I think would be a great idea.
I I think you've got, we kind of forget because we're the Tigers out here, but yeah, there's Tigers on that other side of the state. Okay, well, we do have somebody that has asked a question on Facebook. So Mary Hindle, probably somebody you know, but she shared that Ashley Adorante is fantastic and has connected me with so many fantastic community members. And so I'd love to just, I think that there is something that is very humble about what it is that you see as a talent, but it's also a very rare thing. People don't always see that opportunity to connect others. So can you use that comment from Mary about why do you, I love the why. I mean, I'd love to explore that why, but why and how do you even see those opportunities?
So, first off, Mary is great. She went to school at Pittsburgh, but she has been to several of our Fort Hays alumni events um, as a honorary Tiger. But I really just think it's important to connect people. Just again, you never know who's going to be able to help somebody else out in the long run. And just getting to have that broader base, again, it's just going to be a win-win for everybody.
Agreed. If we, so do you have any ideas for us and any suggestions when we are able to come back to the Kansas City area? Do you have any suggestions for us to be able to host an event that we haven't done yet?
So I don't know of things that we haven't done yet, but one event that we used to do on a pretty regular basis that worked well was a Taco Tuesday event where we just met at a local restaurant that had discounted tacos on Tuesday. People came, they ordered what they wanted, and really just were able to meet other Fort Hays alum that were in the area.
You know, if life would have, I know my first job out of college was in Wichita, and I hadn't the wherewithal to understand how the Alumni Association could have helped me. And it was before the days of Facebook. And I didn't know who else was in Wichita that I might know. And I've always thought if I ever left, I would, went to another community, I would always be contacting the Alumni Association to get more information. Facebook kind of does that for us now, but we still certainly want to help out. But the Taco Tuesday is a great way to remind people of that Tiger spirit, and it's a great way to just really connect, because I think Ashley, you probably can easily connect with others. You're pretty outgoing, but it's not so easy for other people. So, Throwback Thursday was something that was pretty great.
That was a good one. People wore shirts or jackets or anything that they had from their time at Hayes to an event that we had, and that was just pretty fun to see what people kept and what fit and what didn't fit.
Okay. Well, I love this energy that we have, and please, we've got more time for more questions, but I guess I'd like to ask you, Ashley, what does Fort Hays State mean to you? And maybe it meant something to you differently when you were thinking about choosing this university back in the day, or what it means to you today.
So today it just really reminds me of so many great memories that I had when I was there, and now really such an opportunity. I work with quite a few departments on campus through various events, and everybody is always so easy to work with, so helpful, and really just a great resource for Western Kansas.
Thank you. And I have to share something Charlene just sent to me about that there may be in possession here at the Alumni Association some photos of you wearing very fun Fort Hays State accessories. And I need to go see those pictures. She's not going to embarrass you. We're not sharing her screen with all those pictures, but she wants to know, do you have a favorite of those accessories that we should encourage all Tigers to be adopting?
I do love a good costume and a good prop, so I'm sure there's quite a few of those pictures floating around, but nope, I can't say that I do have a favorite. I did like that mascot suit, though. I do have to say that.
Well, that one may not be able to be something we can do, but that's fun. So in other words, you like the variety and the
Yes.
spontaneity. Okay, well, we can get that. Well, our time here is certainly, we still have more time if anybody has any questions, but you have been just a delight to meet virtually. I have not had the opportunity to meet you in person. Looking forward to doing so. I just want to do another shout out. Does anybody else have any questions? Because I even went to journalism here, and you've answered all of my questions and then some. Oh, we've got some more. Of course, Brooke agrees with your love of Fort Hays bling and prop, and you want to wear the mascot. We need Jason, that needs to be the next fundraiser. The wear the tiger for a day opportunity. But Noelle has sent another question. Have you experienced any new volunteer online opportunities, especially during this COVID time?
Actually, I haven't. I know there's a lot of virtual events going on, but I don't know of any volunteer online opportunities.
Something, though, the longer this COVID pandemic stretches, I imagine that's going to now be on the top of your mind and probably something you're going to be delving into. So, well, there's time to certainly stay on here and be able to review all of the group chat. You are getting so many sweet comments on this chat, and you probably haven't had a chance to review them, but I am so honored to have you here today to be able to talk. Thank you to the rest of you for being here, participating today. We have got to do a shout out to all of the alumni team for what they have done in terms of certainly in event planning world. A global pandemic is very disruptive, and thanks to all of you for continuously supporting the activities of the Alumni Association and being able to help us honor Ashley and all the other award recipients in a time where you don't get to come to campus and really get that spotlight. So just to, excuse me, just to project a few things that are happening yet, here later at 3 o'clock, we hope you all can join us for another Zoom interview with Doug Hurt, who is in the history department at Purdue. And then tomorrow we have Lynn Fenwick, who is, gosh, what are you? You're everything, Lynn. And she's on this call, but she's been a lawyer, she's been a painter, she's an artist, she's a writer. So we get to visit with her tomorrow at noon. So, and then all of the Alumni Award recipients will be honored tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. That will be, besides the Alumni Award recipients themselves and alumni staff, everybody else will be joining us Facebook Live. And so we hope that you can hop onto the Fort Hays State Alumni Association Facebook page. Be sure to tell all your friends and family to go there, and we'll be able to honor all of the recipients there. Friday night, we have another fun activity that we hope you can join us, and we're offering the quad up in the sky of the virtual world. And so if you want to come back and come back and be virtually on campus and be a part of different specialized reunions and then just reunions in general, it's a great opportunity through a platform that's kind of 80s throwback game system. I think you Atari players of the day will like it. Hopefully all of you will like it, but that's an opportunity to do some networking as well. And of course, on Friday, TGOF, some people say it's Tiger Gold on Friday, and we're just going all out. We're saying Tiger Gear on Friday. So be sure to take pictures of yourself wherever you may be and post it on our Facebook page. But and then Saturday night, you know, not having a football game really kind of posed a challenge as to how we get to celebrate homecoming and we knew we had to still celebrate because there's too much good news about Tigerland and Fort Hays State, and we want to share with all you. So we are going to have the voice of the Tigers, which happens to be my husband, Gerard Welbrock, and then Coach Chris Brown. They are going to take the 2017 game where we clinched the MIAA title, and they're going to commentate on that game and talk about what it meant for the overall football program. So that's at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. But again, go to our website, goforthaystate.com, and be sure to click on the homecoming events for everything else. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us today, and all the rest of you have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to continued celebration of Ashley and the rest of the awardees here throughout the week. So take care. Have a great day.
Thanks.